なんか、どこ出身ですかって質問を聞いてしまって。
うん、あ、はい。はいはい。イギリス。
うんうん。
イギリス
聞いてしまってね。
イギリスすご
メロガーさん
い。
やられた。
すごい。
全然
もう
イント
全然。
やられた。
ネーション、発音が日本人と
もうめっちゃう
一緒。
まいやつね。
いやいやいや、そんなことはないですよ。Hello, welcome back to Brit vs Japan. Matt here, and today I'm going to be talking about why you should be using VRChat to help improve your Japanese. So I'm going to show you exactly how I find Japanese native speakers in VRChat, which worlds I like to visit. I'm also going to sort of go over how I would include VRChat in my language learning routine, how exactly I would slot in VRChat into my other studies, and why I think it's a good idea to use. So what exactly is VRChat? You can join different worlds with different avatars and just kind of hang out with people. It's essentially a real life kind of esque way of interacting with people. Especially if you have a VR headset, you can go into the world and you can interact with people on a much more realistic kind of scale. Instead of using something like italki, which you have to pay for, or going onto Skype and trying to find language partners through different services like HelloTalk, you get this much more sort of natural sort of going into a world and just meeting new people on the spot and just striking a conversation with them.
なんか来た。美しきNakata。美しきNakata。
私綺麗私綺麗
綺麗ですよ。
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 本当
綺麗です
ピカ
よ。
チュウ抱きしめて。私を抱きしめて。抱きしめてピカチュウ。
いいっすよ。
ピカチュウって言いながら。あー
ピカチュウ
気持ちいい。すごい電気を感じる。ビリビリ。
ビリ来てる。
あ
ビリビリ
来たわ
感。
いや、よかった。
If you could like the video, that'd be great, especially if you're finding it helpful or enjoyable. If you're not, fair enough. Let me know in the comments down below why you don't like it. And yeah, maybe consider subscribing if you are finding it useful. For the most part, every person that I've spoke to in VRChat has been super, super nice, super kind. Yeah, really, really, really cool people. And so I definitely feel like if you are someone who's looking for Japanese people to speak to, looking to make long-term friends, is definitely a way of going about doing that. Especially in this day and age when Japan still has its borders shut and you can't even, go to Japan. So this is a great sort of replacement for the real world in my eyes. I'm going to show you exactly what worlds I use. So let's dive into VRChat and I will show you exactly which worlds I like to go to. So the first thing you want to do to find a world is open up the launchpad, which you can do in desktop by pressing the escape button, click on worlds, and then from here you'll find all the worlds that are popping off right now. At Japan Shrine, that is actually a really good world. You'll find that there's usually Japanese servers, and to find servers in worlds, you simply click on a world like this. It'll bring up the world sort of page with a description and the title, and you'll see all the different instances down here, and you can see that this is a Japanese instance. That is more likely that there's going to be Japanese people in here than there are in the American instance. So you would obviously click on this one, it would bring up the world instance here, and then you can either click go, which will instantly teleport you, or if you're already playing with friends, you can click drop portal. Everyone can go in the portal before you do, because otherwise the portal will close, and then you can go in the portal after them, and you'll all get teleported to this instance. From here, you can also favorite this world or make it your home, which is also a very useful thing to do. If you really like the world and you want to go back, then you should probably favorite it. And yeah, this is basically how you find the different server types, and how you mainly find the Japanese servers to find Japanese people to talk with. So yeah, I tend to use JP. That's usually what's put in the titles because it's short. The one that I would most recommend is the JP tutorial world. This one you might have seen in other videos on YouTube. It's quite a popular world. A lot of people use it. It is a world that most Japanese people go to when they first get VRChat to learn about the game and learn about how the world works. A lot of people also just hang out here in general because it is like the biggest world, I guess, that people use. At the moment, there's not many people on because I'm at a different time zone to Japan, so, it's probably quite late in the morning for them. But, it's a very popular world. A lot of people do go here. But you'll find because it is a tutorial world, a lot of people do hang out here. I'm in an instance where no one else is in here at the moment, so I can record this video. But generally, there'll be a lot of people all over the place talking in different groups. You can really easily start up a conversation with people in this world. So if you feel like you're not quite at the level where you could speak to native speakers yet in a confident manner, if you're not quite ready for that experience yet, then you can also check out the JP to EN language exchange. Now, for those of you who watch this channel, you will know that my general opinion of early output is to not do it, is to wait, get lots of input before you output. But I also understand a lot of people just want to go out and speak to people. So I completely understand that. So for those of you that do want to start speaking from an earlier stage in your language learning, then this is a great way of doing that. Japanese people and English people collectively come together to learn each other's languages, and it's just a really simple world to be able to do that. So this is what the world looks like when you first get in. You don't actually have access to the entire world just yet, because you need to first tell the world how good you are at English and Japanese. So you select your proficiency. So in this case, you would choose fluent for English if you're a fluent native speaker. In my case, I would pick fluent for Japanese. And then I click confirm, and then click teleport. And then what this will do is it will chuck me into the main lobby of the area of the map that you can then go into separate different private rooms. This is one of the definitely easier worlds to sort of go in and strike up conversation with people, because everybody in here is in the same boat. They're all trying to learn the language. They're all trying to learn either English or Japanese, and it can be definitely a lot easier to start up a conversation with someone because you know that they are also nervous about talking in that language as well as you. So yeah, this is a great world to start out especially, so I'd highly recommend checking this world out as well. Essentially, this world was just made by a guy where he wanted to be able to watch videos inside VRChat using PC VR or using the desktop version of the game. So this is literally just a world where you can basically watch things on a big screen. I'm pretty sure if you type in JP, it'll come up because you actually can't type in, as far as I'm aware, you can't type in kanji into the search bar. So if you type in JP, it should appear. But yeah, that's one of the ways you can find it. One of the reasons why I love this world, and I think it's so great, is because whoever's made this world has curated a whole bunch of different topics here. There's all sorts of different things like muscle training, dance, whoever this dude is that this guy's a fan of. There's also just, you can just search on YouTube as well. And so there's all sorts of different things here. It also has access to TiVo, which is actually insane, because TiVo is essentially like Japanese TV. A day after it's aired, it will get uploaded to TiVo, which is an online website that they use, and then you can watch it on TiVo for a couple of weeks before they eventually take it down. So it's kind of a way of like watching TV after the TV has already been aired in case you've missed a show, and it's intended for Japanese people to be used in that way. But this has access to it, so you can literally just watch Japanese TV for free without needing to be in Japan or have a Japanese VPN, which is awesome because a lot of people don't have a Japanese VPN. So it's one of those ways that you can kind of bypass that and still watch Japanese TV. If you use this on a desktop version, you can still kind of just position your character so that it fills up like the entire screen like this, and then you can just leave it on a second monitor or leave it on your main monitor and just watch Japanese TV like this. So it's a really cool way of doing that, and it's just a way of easily getting access to a lot of Japanese content if you're not really able to find content. So if you haven't checked out this world yet and you're using VRChat, or if you're new to VRChat, then definitely check out this world to get access to some really cool Japanese TV and YouTube videos. And yeah, so those are the main worlds that I tend to look at. There are, of course, plenty of others, and if you have any great suggestions, leave your comments down below. There was another world, which unfortunately I don't think is available anymore. I had it in my favorites and I was going to share it in this video, but I can't access it. I can't go into it anymore, which is a real shame. But that's where I got a lot of the footage for this video from, and it was like a really cool Japanese hangout kind of place. It's a real shame that it's gone now, but there's plenty of other worlds, so definitely check those out. Speaking of which, I actually did get some more footage from that world where I spoke to a couple of Korean guys. It's so weird. So this is what I mean by like VRChat and like the amount of different people that you can meet in here and the amount of backgrounds that you can meet. I spoke to two Korean guys in Japanese. They didn't speak English, and we got along really well. We had a long conversation. I was very tired though, so my Japanese kind of sucked.
ごめんなさい。私たち日本人じゃないので今
ああ、なるほど。
日本語ペラペラじゃないです。ごめんなさい。
いやいや、僕も日本人じゃないんですよ。
どの国の方ですか？
イギリス人。
イギリス人か。日本人に話しかけるのが難しくて。
なるほど、なるほど。
わかるそうですね。なんか不思議ですね。なんかイギリス人がなんか日本語を学んでることがちょっと珍しいことじゃないですか。
私もそう思います。
そうですよね。 そもそも知り合いの中で他の言語を学んでる人はそもそもいなくて、結構珍しいよね。And we had full-on conversations in Japanese and talked about all sorts of different topics, and it was just such an awesome, surreal experience. I never thought that I would, I never once thought when I started learning Japanese that would be something that could happen. But it was so cool. I was able to talk to all these people that I would never normally talk to. I would never even be able to talk to because we wouldn't have spoken a language that would have been, a language that we could both speak. But because I've learnt Japanese, I'm now able to talk to a huge wide range of whole other people from other different countries, as well as people from Japan. And I think that's just amazing. And one of the daigomis of language learning, which I don't really know how to translate into English, but essentially it means like one of the beautiful awesome things about language learning. But definitely take a look at VRChat if this is something that you think would be interesting to you, or if you're in the later stages of Japanese and you want to start actually practicing your output and really refining it. This can be a great tool, a great way of easily meeting up with Japanese people and talking to them. If you are still learning Japanese, you're in the beginner stages, then I would not necessarily recommend jumping straight into the speaking side of things just yet. I would always recommend getting a lot of input first, getting a lot of listening and a lot of reading in. But VRChat certainly has the worlds, like the video world that I showed, where you can go in and you can get content from those worlds. And by all means, if you don't want to speak but you still are intrigued by VRChat, that you can go in and mute yourself. You don't actually have to speak, because being a mute in VRChat is actually quite a common thing. A lot of people do it because they're just too nervous to speak to people, and everyone's accepting of that. It's very rare that people will start annoying people because they don't speak. Most people are very accepting of the fact that a lot of people don't speak in VRChat, so that's also a thing as well. Everybody in this game is, as I say, very welcoming, very kind, and I feel like it's just an all-round good time whenever I go in there. So I would definitely recommend checking out VRChat if you haven't already. So when it comes to actually fitting it into your daily routine or whatever, it very much does depend on the kind of person you are and whether you want to do more speaking or not. For me personally, I spoke to someone about once a week. At the time, my girlfriend, who we were just sort of language exchange partners at the time, we would spend a couple of hours on Skype every Saturday or Sunday, and we would just sort of ask each other questions about each other's languages. And for the most part, we tended to speak in our native tongues just to make it easier on ourselves, and also just make it easier on the other person because they could learn via input. As time progressed, we did start to practice speaking the language that we're trying to learn, and it actually worked out quite well that way because we both said to each other, like, if we make a mistake, please correct it on the spot. We went through that kind of method. So if you do start speaking earlier, it's best to do it with probably a teacher or a language exchange partner, someone who can correct your mistakes on the spot and give you instant feedback so that you don't repeat those mistakes. Now, that's not to say that you won't still repeat those mistakes, because the brain is a very weird thing. It will ingrain certain things. I still make mistakes that I know are mistakes, and I've been told many times they are mistakes, but for some reason my head just wants to say that way because it's used to saying it. It's said it before, so it thinks that that's the correct way. So it's been very difficult to sort of prevent myself from doing that. And even me doing it that route, being very careful about my speaking practice and not speaking from a very early stage, I still make mistakes. I don't sound perfect. I do sound like a foreigner to a certain extent. Obviously, the clip at the beginning of this video, that person believes that I sounded like Japanese in that specific moment because I sounded very good to him at that time. But there are obviously other cases, much like when I was talking to the Korean guys, where I'm tired, I'm in a more sort of state where I can't concentrate as much, and so my language ability kind of drops off a bit. I'm making pitch accent mistakes, I will make grammar mistakes, and so it's one of those things that it fluctuates. Your ability always fluctuates. You shouldn't be worried about making mistakes too much. But obviously, if you want to sound like a very, very, proficient sort of language speaker, then definitely hold off on speaking for a while and focus on getting input. If you are someone who wants to speak from an earlier stage, a session a week, 1 hour to 2 hours a week, just be aware that the more you speak from an earlier stage without fully understanding the language yet and fully understanding the grammar and all that kind of stuff, the more chance there is of you making mistakes. and ingraining those mistakes, which will just kind of make it harder in the long run to sort of get rid of that and stop sounding like a foreigner in the long run. It's obviously a personal choice whether you want to go that route or if you want to go to the route which will make you sound more proficient and closer to a native. If you found this video useful, hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you to Harry and everybody else on the Patreon for supporting the channel. You guys are amazing, and I'm super thankful for having you guys. So yeah, if you want to check out the Patreon, there are Anki decks on there. You might find them useful if you're learning Japanese, and see you in the next video.